This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now, in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? Well, a big part of it is our diet.
Trump's pick for HHS secretary is putting out videos to promote one of his biggest concerns that got him the support he had before joining Trump: the unhealthy ingredients in our food.
Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tatrazine, or yellow dye number 5. What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around the country because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food?
He got into serious detail about tartrazine and why only America allows its citizens to consume it, with a promise that he and Trump are against the drivers behind corporations' decision to include it in processed foods.
So their big food and their big ag donors probably gave them all that golden handshake and the big money hug. And their big pharma donors probably called them up and thanked them also, because now they're going to make billions selling Adderall, Prozac, and rescue inhalers. Enough is enough. President Trump and I are going to stop the mass poisoning of American children.
Again, outside of his rejection of any and all vaccines and his belief that water has been turning children gay, his food ingredient breakdown is what got him the attention, which is why his McDonald's video with Trump did too.
The photo of RFK on the Trump plane, doing something that he previously seemed to suggest he would never do, which is eating a Big Mac, or if maybe that's a Big Mac, I don't know, it's a McDonald's burger. The look on his face, I mean, it's worth noting, this does not look like a man who's like thrilled to be there.
It's a hostage video.
Is that what this is?
And you know, I also think, you know, beyond it being hilarious and just like the grimace on his face as he's being forced to eat poison to please Donald Trump.
It made it even worse that a few days before he was reluctantly holding that quarter pounder, he made sure everyone knew how bad Trump's eating habits are.
The stuff that he eats is really like bad. It's not, campaign food is always bad, but the food that it goes onto that airplane is like just poison. It's all, you have a choice between, you don't have the choice. You're either given KFC or Big Macs. That's like when you're lucky. And then the rest of the stuff is I consider kind of inedible, but I was eating it. And then he eats Diet Coke. I was with Dana White the other day, and who was really great for my campaign. He was a huge supporter. He's very close to Trump. They've had a relationship for 20 years, through UFC. But he said during that time, sometimes he'll sit through a fight with Trump, and he's 5 hours in the fight. He said he has never seen Trump drink a glass of water. Yeah.
The main point of that whole thing was to sit in awe of Trump campaigning as much as he did while operating on a 100% junk food diet, without realizing that he'd be promoting it a few days later. It had folks focusing on the irony of the picture so much, it's allowing others to forget, no, he really does think vaccines cause autism and that we should chug down some raw milk.
But isn't it a little hypocritical of RFK Jr. to be sitting there eating McDonald's food after what he has said about food in this country?
I don't think so, because I give my friends a lot of hell about the food they eat, Jim. Yeah. And I tell them, guys, you need to eat healthier, you need to get your butts in the gym.
You know, I think it's a dominance thing. Okay, Bobby Kennedy's famously fit. He's famously fastidious about what he eats. And so he is being forced to bend the knee to the dear leader. Yeah. And by the way, everybody who works for Trump has to eat a lot. And I won't say exactly what they have to eat, but it ain't a McDonald's hamburger. Okay,
occasionally some crow, I guess.
People.
Yeah.
Some crow would be a nice way to put it. I was thinking of some of the things maybe my cows here on my farm produce. That's what he makes them eat, though, Jim. Yeah. He humiliates. You know, in his first term, he had 4-star generals. He had the CEO of ExxonMobil, and he degrades and insults and humiliates all of them because he has to show some kind of dominance.
Considering the fact Trump only buttered RFK Jr. up during the campaign in order to get him to drop out over the fear he'd lose votes to him, I don't think he really cares if he's humiliating Kennedy or not. He also probably doesn't even know or care what plans he's looking to implement. He's just paying him back for supporting him. It is ironic, though, when First Lady Michelle Obama was advocating for schools to improve the quality of their food, the same folks that are posting memes of RFK Jr. holding fresh fruit in the field were claiming that she was coming to turn America upside down.
When I heard this, I thought, get your damn hands off my fries, lady. If I want to be a fatty and shovel French fries all day long, that is my choice.
We're going to have, the government fining us if we use salt.
Coming up straight ahead, all this talk about the government taking salt away from you because it's so bad for you. But aren't there good things about salt?
I hate the government getting involved and telling me what to eat and not to eat.
Food police. Do you think the government should regulate the ingredients in the food we eat?
Can't we make our own decision about whether or not we want to salt our food?
All right, an Obama government obesity task force. Does every American family need a dietitian appointed by the government to tell them that this food is going to make you fat and this food is not?